Good morning and welcome to our Tuesday English Personal Development Leadership Entrepreneurship classes, or calls, I'm sorry. And, well, first of all, I want to say, I cannot believe it. We're already 3 months in 2014. And so for all of you who joined us back when, since September, we've been on this journey for quite some time. But I know the majority of you guys, pretty much joined us with these calls starting this new year, 2014. So anyhow, I just want to get present to that for a minute. But anyway, for those of you who are on the call for the very first time or probably a couple of times here with us, this is Karla Sandoval, and I've been having the privilege of having the opportunity to do these calls with you guys, and basically the way that it came about, and the reason why I'm telling you why it's come about is because it's going to be really relative to what we're going to be talking about today. And what happened basically was this last year, 2013, was really a year that really a lot of things changed in my life. I don't know, it was like one of those years of transition, right? And as a result of that, I had an opportunity to be involved with a couple of people where they really started to stretch my mind and started expanding, quote unquote, my horizons, right? I started thinking about, what do I want my life to be about, and getting more involved in the community, getting more involved with people. And as a result of that, that allowed me to be a part of this an incredible academy called program at USC called the Latina Leadership Academy, where we're basically, Jasmine Davis Dr. Jasmine Davis is training and developing 24, I believe we have, powerful executive entrepreneur Latinas here in the Southern California area to teach them how to develop their skill set. And in that process, asked me to be part of that program. And when I was asked to be part of that program, not only was I really humbled and really honored, but I really was really present to the fact that this meant having responsibility of leading. And as a result of that, I started to really dig deep in all these books and a lot of personal development, specifically on the topic of leadership. And as a result of that, a lot of you guys up in Sacramento asked, Karla, why don't you share with us what it is that the women are teaching? And that's how this whole call series started. But, like everything in life, okay, we start heading on this journey, and then we realize that, not necessarily that you have to deviate from your destination, but you start to realize maybe, just maybe, there might be other paths to be able to get you there. And there might be other paths that you were not aware of, and other ways and other places that you were unaware of that perhaps, just perhaps, if you explored, could definitely enhance your experience on this trip. And this trip in this particular, for me, it's called this trip of life. And so, as a result of that, you guys, I just really, really want to take a minute and get us present to where we're at 2014, because if you think about just the way I started my journey last year, where all I wanted to do was to really give back to the community and get myself involved in other circles, because I have been doing Herbalife, since I was 23, and for a minute I was like, I don't have friends other than this business, and I wanted to have, start to expand my circles. And so in addition to my Herbalife family and friends, I started taking on salsa lessons. I started doing other things, and in that process and during that journey, that allowed other doors to start opening that I wasn't even necessarily looking for. But because the intention was there, the opportunity showed up. And why I'm sharing this with you is because I really want us to get present to what journey are you on 2014. Okay, we're already we're here in March, first Monday of March 2014. And as I was working out this morning, as I shared with you, every Tuesday I wake up at 5 a.m. Today I happen to wake up at 4:45 to make sure that I get my workout in so that I could be back at home with my rebuild strength done in my body, vitamins in my body, so that I can be present on this call. And as I was doing that, I'm like, I really got present to the fact that, wow, we're here 3 months in. And the question that I had for myself and I put on to you guys is, where are we on that journey? You know, back in January, I had all of you, and if you were not on the call, I'm certain that January 1st struck and you started to think about what you wanted this year to be about, even if it was just for a second. Some of us put more thought into it than others. Some of us wrote it out. I asked many of you, and if you haven't done this, I am going to encourage you to stop anything that you're doing today for just 5 to 10 minutes. Turn off your phone, put it on silent, and really sit down if you haven't done this and write down, what do you want 2014 to be about? We're already 3 months in, and if you don't have that written down, that is definitely something that is going to shape the journey of 2014. And here's the thing, like I said, I think it was last week's call, and that is, if you want to know what this year is going to look like, just look at last year. Because if you're continuing to do the same things that you did last year, like let's say if last year you didn't really write down your goals, last year you really were not present to reviewing your goals on a weekly, monthly basis, if you did not do that last year and you're doing the same thing this year, guess what? You're going to have the same outcome. The destination is going to be like straight line, and all of a sudden you're going to be like, wait, I'm lost. Why did I not achieve the goals that I intended to achieve? So one of the things I want to do today is I really want to get present to, where are you so far with the goals that you set 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, sorry, almost 3, what is it, January, however long ago it was, January, okay? Where are you? If you remember, we sat down and I encouraged you guys to look at, where are you with your physical goals? Have you made progress? Any progress? Or have you been, I don't want to say made it worse. Let me think. Have you moved forward, or are you stuck, or even moving backwards? The first thing I want you to look at, and I want you to start getting present to right now, is where are you with your goals in speaking in regards to your body? Where are you on your nutritional plan? How consistent have you been? How consistent have you been with your workout plan? And I want you to just take a moment and get present to that and rate yourself from 1 to 10. If you have a piece of paper, from 1 to 5, I want you to rate yourself from 1 to 5. Where are you? 1 being like, I have not moved. And if anything, it's been like maybe even a -1, right? If you've gone backwards, if the scale has been increasing instead of decreasing, if you wanted to lose weight, if you wanted to gain weight and the scale has been decreasing instead of increasing, whatever the case may be, you're an intelligent human being. Rate yourself from 0 to 5. Okay, where are you speaking about your body? Okay, now, in that, having said that, okay, we're not going to stay stuck there. Once you rated yourself, I want you to get present to, okay, now that I am wherever I am at, okay, my second question to you is, for the next month, just this month, March, okay, we're not looking 90 days, just this month, whatever you said you were at, let's just say you said you were at a 3, like, okay, well, I know I've done some progress, but not really, like, I'll tell you, okay, I'll be honest with you. I have been really great about my workout regimen. Like, I love working out. I don't skip a beat with that, right, for the most part. But my meal plan hasn't necessarily been dialed in, okay? So I definitely, a 5 would have been like, yes, I hit all my goals, but I'm more like a 3, where I did make progress, okay, but I didn't really play full out in proportion to how I know that I could have played. Okay, so a 5 is like, yes, I hit my goals. Yes, I feel good about what I did. And even if you didn't achieve your goals, but you did what you said you were going to do, then you're like a 5. Okay, for me, I'm a 3. So that's the first thing. I want you to get present to that. Now, the next question for you is, what number are you committed to playing for the rest of the month? Meaning, from this Monday till, January, February, March, April, to the first Monday of April, what commitment, what number would you commit to play between now and the first Monday of April? From a 1 to 5. I want you to write that down, okay? Think about what number are you going to play. Now, the question is this. Let's just say that you say, I'm going to play at a 5. Now, a lot of you, your little brain is going to think, not that well, actually all brains are small, but anyway, your brain is going to be telling you, no, put a 4, don't overstretch yourself, and you're going to want to sell yourself short. Now, if you want to say a 4 because that's really the commitment that you're going to play at, great. But if you're saying that you're going to be a 4 only to be safe, and only because you think that's like, okay, well, I'll say a 4, and then if I shoot for a 5, I'll be like super proud of myself because I'll be like, okay, under promise, over deliver kind of mentality. Don't do that. Okay. Now, if your question, like for me, I'm going to genuinely say I'm going to play at a 4. The reason being, not because I don't know that I can play at a 5, but there is something that's going to happen. I'm going to be really honest, that I know that it will not that it won't allow me, that I will not commit to a 5 because of this 1 week that we're going to be on a trip. So, not to say that I couldn't be super great on my meal plan, okay, but I want to honor my word, and I'm going to say I'm going to play at a 4. I'm going to do better than I did the last 2 months, okay, but I know that there's still room for growth. Okay, so that's my commitment. But the question to you is, like, if you want to play at a 5 now, or whatever number it is that you're going to play at, now the second question is, what actions will you need to take to play at that level? What actions will you need to play at that level? Now, here's a tip. Here's a trick. Your brain is going to want to go to what it already knows. It's going to want to start saying, well, I'm going to take 2 shakes, 1 meal, and you're going to speak from an automatic place. Don't do that. What you want to do is you want to get present to what actions will I need to take. Now, here's the thing. You've got to stop and think about this, because your brain will go on what's already there, like what you always do, and it's going to go on automatic. However, I'm going to challenge you that automatic response has you being at whatever level you originally said you were going to be. So, for example, with me, if I was going to say, okay, well, what am I going to do to play at a 4, okay? Or let's say I set at a 5, for example. Then I would probably say, okay, well, I'm going to have to, plan my meals, have to cook every Sunday, plan everything out, and so you see, it's like going on an automatic thing. But instead, if I'm really committed to this, I'm going to say, what actions will I need to take? And I'm going to start thinking about things that I did not do last 2 months that I'm committed to doing this month. For example, one of the things that I would do is enroll people around me to hold me accountable. Because, see, I already know that I have my shakes and that I have my vitamins and that I plan my meals. I did all that the last 2 months. Okay, I did all that, but I wasn't as consistent because there was something missing. So now the question is, yes, I'm still going to do my shakes. Yes, I'm still going to do my vitamins. Yes, I'm still going to do my meal plans. And yes, I'm still going to cook. Yes, I'm still going to pack my food. But there's something missing. The question is, what will I put in place this month that will allow me to win in that number that I'm setting myself at? And I'm going to look at that and say, okay, what was missing last month? And one of the things that was missing for me was that the people around me were not that supportive, meaning that they were like, come on, Karla, So one of the things that one of the things I would do to allow me to win is enroll the people around me in my commitment, so that not only will they hold me accountable, okay, but that they will also be a support for my goal. And I would enroll them in telling them, like, for example, maybe one of my friends or something, hey, you know what, here's my goal for this month. And I want to share this with you because I know that I spend a lot of time with you, and I really want to ask you to please hold me to account, hold me accountable for this goal. So if we go out to dinner, I'm really going to request that if I order anything unhealthy, you tell me, Karla, but your goal. See, like, I rarely order any unhealthy. What ends up happening is this one particular friend of mine, every time we go out, he's always like, oh, let's get some French toast. Oh, let's get some pancakes, right? So I indirectly, rather than telling him, like, don't order that food, right, because that's my goal, not his, I'm gonna request for him to support me and make him my hero and say, you know what, so if I order anything unhealthy, I'm really going to request for you to be like, Karla, don't do that. Remember your goal. And indirectly, I'm basically telling him, don't Don't give me temptation, right? But anyhow, you figure out a way. You're a smart human being, but enroll your family, enroll your friends, enroll the people that are around you is one thing I would do. So start thinking about what was missing last month that was not in play, that if you had it, would make a difference. I'm going to say that again. Ask yourself what was missing last month if you had it in play, it would have made a difference. Okay, so that's on the area of your body. Now, with that same philosophy, let's go down to the next area, and that is here in the 4 core concepts, and that's the second thing, which was in your spirituality. Oh, man. So now the question is, what did you play in the area of spirituality? From 0 to 5. Rate yourself. And then again, what are you committed to playing for just this month? Okay, we're not even asking for more months. This next 4 weeks, what number are you willing to play? Are you committed to playing? Not willing. Are you committed to playing for the next 4 weeks from 0 to 5? And again, second question, what action would you need to take to make sure that you play at that level? So I'm going to say something really quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this because you kind of already got the picture with the body part of it. So like with the spirituality, I would probably say I play like at a 1 because I like pray, but I didn't always meditate. Okay, I dropped the ball in that area. And one of the things I'm going to tell you guys, and I don't know for all of you football players, I don't know if you watched that football, the Super Bowl. You saw the winning team. I remember when I was watching them, I was like, God, there's something about them. They're so like in this zone, like they're so crystal clear on what they're doing. And I literally turned to one of my girlfriends and I'm like, I wonder if the coach hires like those performance coaches, like an Anthony Robbins or something that goes in there and like pumps them up and gets them into state and gets them all focused mentally, And I remember her telling me, oh, I'm sure she did. I'm sure they do. And I'm like, yeah, but there's something different about this team, okay? And I think I told you guys that they interviewed the coach, and he makes the entire team meditate. There is so much power in visualization that's not even funny. Your brain does not know the difference between truth and fake and imagination. If you were to sit down and meditate for 5 minutes, and I'm going to include myself, hold on. If we were to sit down and meditate for 5 minutes, 10 minutes every single day, even on something like what's my day going to look like, or more in depth, like what do I want, what's my goal for this month? And you start visualizing your new body, visualizing your business growing, visualizing whatever it is that you're committed to, your brain will think that it's already there and it will start acting as if you already have it, therefore bringing to your life exactly what you need to attain it. It's magical how that works. Okay, so I would say that for me, okay, I put it at a level 1. I prayed, but I was not consistent in my meditation. So now you got to say, what is your new level of commitment? Okay, what new number from 0 to 5? And then second question is, what actions would you need to take to play at that level? In other words, ask yourself, what was missing the last 60 days that if I did or if I had or if I put in place, or if I planned, it would have made a difference. For example, the weeks that I was really good about meditating was because I woke up and I planned it. I set time aside to meditate. So that's something that was missing for me the last 60 days, that if I had put in place, like a designated 5 to 10 minutes time, I would have been more consistent in my meditation. Therefore, that's something I would put in place this next 4 weeks in order to win in the area of spirituality. Okay? Moving forward. Number 3, in the area of relationships, rate yourself from 0 to 5. How did you play? What number would you rate yourself in the areas of relationships? Okay, for those of you who are not unclear about this, it's like how often the relationships was that you were going to choose 2 people in your life that you wanted to, I don't want to say improve, that you wanted to nurture and invest in your communication and your connection with these 2 people, and you were going to commit to set something like a text, a call, a Facebook message, a letter, a note, a post-it. You were going to do say something every single day to these two people that was going to therefore nurture these relationships. Something as simple as a text, okay? Rate yourself from 0 to 5. Where were you the last 60 days in that area? And then, so now it's what are you committed to? What level are you committed to playing for the next 4 weeks? And again, what actions would you need to take to make sure that you play at that level? In other words, what was missing last 60 days in the areas of relationships that if you had in place, it would have made a difference? Perhaps what was missing was putting structures, like maybe even something like a little alarm, not because you don't love your friends, your family, or whoever, whether you put as those two people, but maybe sometimes you got carried away. So maybe what was missing is maybe like a little alarm, like invest today. And only you know what that means. And then that moment when that alarm goes off, you're like, oh yeah, I got to send a quick message to my mom and my daughter, whatever. Okay? So what was missing that if you had present, it would have made a difference? And that's maybe some of the actions that you're going to take in the areas of relationship. Maybe something that was missing is scheduling a date night every week. Okay? You think about that. Number 4, in the area of business, from 0 to 5, based on what you said you wanted to achieve at the beginning of the year, where are you in terms of your business? From 0 to 5, where are you as far as your goals? Even if you didn't hit them, but maybe you're like you have been doing what you said you were going to do, then maybe you're a 5. Okay? So rate yourself from 0 to 5. Where are you in the area of business? Then again, what number are you committed to playing for the next 4 weeks? Number 2, what actions will you need to take to be able to play at that level? In other words, what was missing the last 60 days in the area of your business? What could you have done differently? What could you have put in place? Okay, what was missing that if you had in place, it would have made a difference? Okay, now here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys. In these 4 areas, especially I know that most of you are probably really thinking about the areas of your business. While that is wonderful, I am really going to invite you to make sure that we all stay focused on the 4 areas of our lives. Because here's the thing I learned last night, okay? So I had this class. I participate in Landmark every Monday, and I'm a coach there, so I get like coaching training, and then we get the class, and then we get another coaching training after the training. We have a pre-training, the class, post-training, right? And one of the things that our coach said, which I thought was just brilliant and spoke to me, because so many of us, and we focus on one area of our life, like let's say our business, and then we drop the ball on the relationships, or we focus on spirituality and we drop the ball on the business, whatever the case may be. And she said this: there is no integrity in having integrity in one area of your life and not having integrity in the other. In other words, you could say, well, right now, because integrity is, as you remember, it's not a morality thing. It's doing what you said you were going to do by the time you said you were going to do it. In other words, honoring your word. That's really what integrity is. It's something being whole and complete. And there's nothing whole and complete about your life if you were to focus like on your business and then drop the ball in your relationships. Because now, guess what? You have like your whole and complete in your business, but then as soon as you turn around, you're in this huge castle all by yourself. There is no integrity in life playing like that. Now, would you perhaps dedicate a little more time in one area than in another? Perhaps, but it doesn't. But what it means is that you don't neglect the other areas because you're focusing on this area. Because that is where there's upsets and your life becomes, trust me, your life becomes empty, and really, you just don't have any fulfillment in that. But imagine if you could focus on your business and have a spiritual life and have an amazing body, healthy body, and have loving, nurturing relationships. Have your life be an and not an or. It's not business or relationships. It's not, body or spirituality. It's and kind of a life. So with that said, here's my request for each and every one of you, and that is today, actually, I'm not going to say this week, today, I am really going to encourage you, do not be indifferent about this. Do not be indifferent about this. And I give you my word that I will do the same, okay? And that is, look at where you have been the last 60 days and look at what you committed to playing for the next 4 weeks. And then what actions are you going to take in order to be able to make sure you play at that number? And sometimes, you guys, it's just one thing that's missing that if you had in place would make a difference. And I am going to request that you text those numbers to somebody, your coach, your upline, your best friend, your spouse, me, somebody. So if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, I'm going to give you my cell phone number. If you want to text me, okay, like body, and all I want to know is like body, like for example, for me, right, I would say body 3, now a 4. Spirituality 1, now a 5. Et cetera, right? So those two numbers that you would say, the first one is where were you? And the second number is what number are you going to play for the next 4 weeks? And I want you to text that to somebody, and if you can, text it to me. I would love to hear from you. Put your name, and then here are my numbers. Because what happens is when you put it out there, now you're going to live into it. Okay, don't worry. No one's going to be like a little cop on you. But here's what happens. You give yourself your word, and therefore your actions will start to follow. Okay, so again, here's my number in case you would like to text it to me. And that is area code 916-847-1236. Again, it's 916-847-1236. And I would love to hear what numbers were you and what numbers are you today. And then next week, what we're going to do is we're going to build on this thing called the performance triangle that we learned that's part of our self-expression leadership program. And that is where you have a loss of power or freedom or self-expression, what to do to get that power back. But before I give you that distinction, I think it's important for you to first be aware of where you're at, okay, and then get present to what's your commitment for the next 4 weeks. And emotions are going to come up, maybe a little stomach ache or whatever. Get present to that, so then when we get on the call next week and we talk about, where you have a loss of power, what area of your life you have a loss of power, freedom, or self-expression. And then, therefore, the distinction that I'm going to share with you will then make sense. So with that said, you guys, I'm sorry I don't have time for questions today. I gotta get going. But thank you guys so much for being on this call. Remember, this call is recorded for an entire week with the same number, the same code. Just change the last two numbers from 00 to 99, and you can hear it all week long until next Tuesday. So with that said, God bless every single one of you. Thank you so much for being on the call, and play full out. Goodbye.